What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Cuppa Hockey presented by Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And we're also presented by Perasso, the most complete choice for shaving and beard care. Made in Italy since 1948, Perasso has been a staple of Italian culture and barbershops globally for 4 generations. So get 15% off at Perasso-USA.com with our promo code Hockey15 in all caps, Hockey15. That's Colby Cohen. I'm Johnny Lazarus, and we got a lot to catch up on in this short week. We will only have shows Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because Thanksgiving is Thursday. We got Mason West, the Chicago Blackhawks first rounder from this past year's draft, coming on the show at around 9:30. Mason, as everyone knows by now, was the Edina High School football quarterback that just won the Minnesota State Championship, and Mason will be joining the Fargo Force here soon in the USHL. So a lot to catch up on with Mason. He's one of the best stories in sports. I got to spend the draft day with him actually in LA, so I got to know him a little bit, and I'm excited to catch up with him. But Colby, a lot to get to this morning. Mikko Rantanen, new scumbag in the league, maybe, I don't know. And Connor Hellebuck out for 4 to 6 weeks with Winnipeg. How will that affect the Jets? There's a lot of different storylines to get to. The Blackhawks struggled in the last 3 games, but maybe the refs have something to do with that. Also, Connor Bedard has dodged autograph people stalking him, which I think we're in favor of.
You see Romanov 5 to 6 months or something like that. Shoulder surgery. Yeah. That's fucking brutal. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. And I had a really interesting moment this weekend. It's really funny. Like, I was watching Blackhawks last night, Colorado, and Tony Granato was on between periods, and I texted him and I was like, I had my first Tony G coaching moment. Remember when, was it Laviolette and
they went at it. Yeah,
they were like chirping at each
like
other
face to face, and they're friends, right? Yeah.
So in our games this weekend, we swept Elmyra. We were up 6-3, and in the last minute of the game, or actually it was like 10 or 11 seconds left, guy on their team smokes one of our guys boarding from behind. Guy goes head first. And I mean, I was so pissed off about it because, like, here I am telling our guys in the third period, stay out, don't get involved. Like, don't do anything stupid, no bullshit, stay off the officials, like, we're having a chance to have a sweep. And the minute it happened, I went right down the bench at the other coaches, like, immediately. And I'm like barking at the guy to control your team, whatever. Like, obviously with look, you got to show your players you care. And I was pissed. Right. And so after the buzzer, there's only 10 seconds left, right? So we get the power play, we go down, we win the draw, whatever, the game's over. And because of the way this arena, it's actually a really nice arena, Elmyra's arena. They used to have an East Coast League team there. It's probably one of the best ones we play at in the North American League. And I'm getting off the ice, and this guy's screaming and yelling. He's literally trying to fight me. This guy was 50.
Did you know him before or no?
I have no idea who he is. I had to look him up. I had no idea who he was. And he's a 50-year-old guy, French Canadian, so you have
bad taste right now with the French Canadians.
and he's literally barking at me and screaming, and he's telling me to come over to the bench and fight him. And I'm just like, Exhibit A, what's wrong with junior hockey? People like you. So it'll be interesting the next time we play them. That's certainly for sure. But I did get text messages from some friends of mine who are high-level coaches, like have coached pro Division I. Their kids are on my team, and they saw it.
Like Rand?
Rand is one of them, and Rick Kowalski is the other one. Rick helps me with a lot of different things. Rand helps me with a lot of different things. It's great having those guys' kids on your team because you get all this access to those guys for things you want to work on, things you need help with. But the more this guy yelled and screamed, and the more that I just kind of looked over at him and just kind of smiled, the more
pissed he got, obviously.
The more angry he got. So it was a good weekend for the New Jersey Titans, Johnny. And I think there is video of this puck battle that you're asking, because Elmyra has an incredible broadcast. Like, they have different cameras. They have a control room. Like, they put on like a very for junior hockey, it's a very professionalized broadcast. So I think people did see it because I got a lot of text messages about it. But it is funny to me when a junior hockey coach is trying to fight you after a game. It's like, this is embarrassing for you.
I doubt that's something you would ever post, but if I get access to that video, can I post it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I got no problem with that. You're right. I would never post that. But,
you would never do that. I mean, as you no coach should ever post that.
Yeah. But I'm happy to come on here and air it out, and I'm happy to talk shit. I mean, what a loser that guy is. Like, I have no problem saying that. Which again, I couldn't care less. You guys know how I roll. I don't give a shit if people hear what I say. Like, I stand by it. And at times, if you have to walk things back, you have to correct yourself. So you do it. But I couldn't care less. So anyways, Johnny.
Yeah, let's talk a little hockey.
What people actually want to hear about.
Let's talk Mikko Rantanen. I didn't even know this was a rule, by the way. He got 2 game misconducts in the last 3 games for Dallas. And apparently if you get 2 game misconducts in the first 41 games of the season, it results in a suspension. So that was news to me. But I also want, and we could talk about the hit if you want on Coronato. Everyone, we've talked about the hit on Romanov.
Talk about the hit because I fucking hated that hit.
I thought that hit was worse than the Romanov one.
Believe it or not, to me, and I know Ariel and Islanders fans, if they're here right now, they're gonna freak out at me for saying this. To me, this was uglier, more premeditated, and dirtier than the hit on Romanov. Now, the hit on Romanov, I mean, basically ended his season. So, you hate that. You absolutely hate that. But to see him go through a guy when you're looking at his numbers, and I know Coronato cuts back a little bit there, but still, to me, that was like you tracked that guy back and then you ran through him in a dirty way.
A much smaller guy than you too.
Yeah, I mean,
Coronato's not a big guy by any means.
I think we can all make the argument on the Romanov one that there was more sort of
accidental contact.
It was just more like there were more factors at play, in my opinion, in that one. We'll never get inside a player's head, but I do believe like he was given the benefit of the doubt on that one because of the factors. This one, you don't deserve the benefit of doubt on. Like, to me, this was completely predatory, honestly. I mean, and I do not.
I don't know if you saw it too, Colby, but Coronato's face was so fucked up after he got so many zippers on his nose. I don't know if you saw like the post-game press conference he did, but man, he was beat up.
I saw a picture on social media. I didn't see the press conference. Like something came across my feed, Johnny. I hate that type of shit. I really do. Yeah. So, what is your guess on suspensions here? It's the automatic one, right?
Yeah, it's automatic 1 game. But here's so I want to get into this comment from the chat. Jake Y9Q just wrote, this is good for Dallas to be a physical threat. And I wanted to go back to this tweet from Andy Francis. Not familiar with who Andy is, or I don't think he's in the hockey world. Says he's a actor and comedian, content creator. But Andy said, not for nothing, while I think Natchez will be more productive in terms of stats, Rantanen developing a scumbag type of edge is quite ideal when it comes to winning playoff games. Plenty of cheap shots from Bennett, Marchand, Tkachuk, Wilson, etc. You just deal with the suspensions. And I don't know if those guys really get suspended a lot. I mean, Wilson maybe is one of them, but have we seen Tkachuk? Like, I know Marchand's had, I guess, a few in the past, but not necessarily dirty hit.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while for Marchie.
Yeah, like those guys I wouldn't say are the typical suspension scumbag type of players, but they have that like edge to them that I think Mikko Rantanen, at his size and with his strength, certainly developing is not an issue for the Dallas Stars. Like, obviously they want their best player to play in games and not be suspended, but Dallas has been missing that extra edge. They've had Jamie Benn obviously in years past, and he's always been the one to do it. But, having the scumbag mentality, I guess, or embracing that come playoff time, it feels like that's what every team is looking for, right? Like, that's what Florida's done to be so successful. They've gotten under their opponent's skin. They've beaten you not only on the scoreboard, but also like physically. And if Dallas can do that, starting with Mikko Rantanen, I don't know what has necessarily gotten into him. Rantanen has never really been the one to he's not. I wouldn't say he's like soft or doesn't play a physical game. He definitely
No.
absorbs contact.
Rantanen's
He absorbs contact for sure.
Been a pretty heavy player, Johnny.
But he doesn't like initiate maybe, yeah. But I would never say that Mikko Rantanen wasn't a physical player before this, just not to this extent.
Right, but I guess the question that you're asking me here is
this good?
Is this good? Like, what's the, what does this lead to? Yeah. Does this lead to a target on his back? Does this lead to, other players, going after him? I don't know. It seems like, there could be other things to follow. And what I asked you here is he gets an automatic suspension. Does he deserve more than one game for that hit? I mean, maybe
I think so. I would give him a second game.
Maybe that hit deserves 2 games, and that's kind of where I was going with it here. And I'd be curious to hear from the chat, and you guys can drop it right in here. Do we think that he should get more than 1 game for this? Because I do. I think he should get a second game for this.
But do you also think that with the recency bias of the Romanov hit too? Like, those are 2 really bad hits in the last 3 games. Like, that probably plays a factor in it too, right? Like, if this is a separate hit, you remove the Romanov hit, are you still feeling that way?
But that's reality, though. That, like, you're asking me to remove reality from the situation. Why would I remove reality? Yeah, the recency bias is there 100%, as it should be, right? Like,
fair. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, I mean, recency bias, like, that's a real thing. That's an earned recency bias. He just got involved in another one, which he was given a 5-minute major for. Okay, we said we thought that maybe, like, it was a little bit accidental on the Romanov hit, but he still put himself in that situation, right? He still moved his arms in that situation. So, yeah, recency bias should be taken into account here, and they do take recency bias into account. So I think he should be given a second game. I don't think this should be just an automatic 1-gamer. That's the easy way for them to do it. But I think a second one should get tacked on here.
And for Dallas, like, they're a team right now, again, missing Thomas Harley, Rantanen now out of the lineup. I don't think they've been playing all that well as of late. I feel like they've lost a couple games here. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I know they lost the Islanders. I watched that game last week. They ended up losing this game to the Flames. So I wouldn't say, they're a team who we'd probably put neck and neck with Colorado, right? Like, going into the season, I would think that the Central Division, it was going to be Colorado, Dallas. So Vic just said both games that Mikko Rantanen got a game misconduct, he lost, so he needs to stop getting tossed from games. Granted, the game against the Islanders was much later in the game. I think that was like the final minute of the game or so. But point being, the Dallas Stars are now 7 points back of the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, Colorado, again, is like running away with the Central and running away with the President's Trophy, it seems. But what?
I'm laughing at Neil Simmons in the chat. He says, if a Florida Panther threw the Rantanen hits, the NHL would have given them a bonus. Well,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, who on the Florida Panthers might play like scumbags at times, and I actually mean that as a compliment. So if you're a Florida Panther fan, like,
well, I think that's this whole conversation. Like, that's the conversation we're having. Rantanen playing this way, could it turn into a compliment? Right now, we're saying it's an insult, but if this was the Panthers, it's like, oh, that's just typical Panther hockey. I think that's the conversation we're having right now.
But I mean, I know that's like the whole thing. People act like that the NHL like looks away, but I feel like every market says this. Everyone's like, well, the Bruins get away with everything, and then it's like, well, nobody's going to get suspended on the Florida Panthers, and like, then there's the teams that are like, it's always our fault. They'll give Matt Rempe a 50-game suspension for that hit. Like, everybody's saying the same thing about their teams. But I don't understand this whole like Florida Panther narrative. Like, sure, they play a little dirtier than everyone else, but like, is the league looking the other way on plays with the Florida Panthers? I mean, are we still on that whole Bennett like little rabbit punch to Brad Marchand in the playoffs? Like, is that where we're still kind of, I know Neil is always a chatter with us. He's always pretty logical with his takes. All right, he's clarifying. He says he's arguing in bad faith, and that's what I'm thinking here. Like I know you're more just like taking shots. So I was gonna say you're always such a logical guy for us here, Neil. So I was kind of curious, like, because I haven't heard that lately, the whole Florida Panther thing. I just haven't seen that.
That's a good point from Randy too. Johnny and Colby, if Randy was disciplined for the Romanov hit where the Coronato hit had happened.
Probably.
Wasn't there a game in between though?
Well, okay.
I think there was a game in between.
Yeah, yes and no. Like, Randy, can you clarify for me there? Are you saying he wouldn't have made that hit or he wouldn't have been in the game? Because obviously those are, cause if he's not in the game, he obviously can't make the hit. But let's just say he got suspended for one game. I still think he would have made that hit. I agree. I don't think that would have changed it. You get suspended for one game and you get fined a few $1,000s when you make 12. You're really not, if anything, you're more fired up and full of piss and vinegar in the next game and potentially likely to do something like that.
So I'm looking right now. Dallas played one game in between, so he would have sat at Vancouver, where he scored that sick goal, by the way. He had that spinorama backhand top shelf goal against Vancouver. And I guess, he would have been playing against Calgary because that probably would have been a one-game suspension. He also had that run-in with, I don't think it was Omar, but one of the Senators' goalies like 2 weeks ago where that caused the whole thing too. So Randon's been in the mix with all this shit, honestly, all season to start. You want to get into any other topics? I feel like we've kind of run our course here on this rant and stuff.
Yeah, let's do a little Western, a little recap of the weekend in the Western Conference and what's going on right now. I think there's some guys worth getting into, guys worth kind of diving and talking a little bit about.
All right, let's talk about our sponsor, Prime, before we get into more of the Western Conference. This segment is a presentation of Prime Monday Night Hockey. Stream Prime Monday Night Hockey exclusively on Prime Video and experience thrilling goals and dramatic plays from the NHL. Monday nights are hockey nights, so don't miss a moment of the action. Tonight, the Senators are out on the West Coast to take on the Los Angeles Kings. Puck drop at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check out the link in our description for the Prime Monday Night Hockey schedule on Prime Video or go to primevideo.com/NHL. And Colby, again, like we talked about it just a second ago with the Colorado Avalanche, do you want to start there? Do you want to go Blackhawks? Chicago lost 3 straight. Burakovsky gets hit right to the head by Ryan Lindgren. Bedard gets a stick right to the hands and a breakaway, gets a misconduct with the officials. Where do you want to go?
I kind of wanted to talk about the whole Bedard thing going around social media, around social media right now. And I was watching that yesterday and I was laughing because, look, I can just tell you guys, these people that come, they're called seekers. That's what the players refer to professional autograph seekers as. They are constantly in your face and asking you to sign 8 things and hitting you in different cities. And then all they do is turn around and sell them. So good for Connor Bedard, honestly, for just ignoring this guy. Like, you can listen, that is a seeker, starter pack right there. He's got that black, binder. He's got a bunch of different things in there that he wants to look to be signed. Good for Bedard for just basically breezing the guy off. I hope that absolutely nobody in their right mind is coming down on Connor Bedard for this. And we've come down on Bedard before on this show. So it's not like we're playing favorites to him here, but, good for him for telling this guy to fucking piss off. Like, these guys are ridiculous. You're not going to make money and sit there and get in a guy's, get up to a guy's face and ask him to sign for the 4,000th time. So good for Bedard for sticking to his guns there. I honestly, I like seeing that.
Yeah, Sam. And if you don't have kids with you, that's just like weird, right? Like an older adult asking, and Bedard's again like a 20-year-old kid asking a younger guy for an autograph, like basically stalking him and walking around with him and chasing him. And the fact that he said, like, Connor, you're the one guy I haven't had, like, I don't know, those people. There's like a whole TikTok page of those people, and it's horrible.
Oh,
and they try to make the athletes seem like assholes.
Yeah, I bet you that Bedard has signed for that guy before. I mean, these guys, man, they're literal predators with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's for a kid, it's for a kid. Like, you're obviously going to stop and sign, but like, forget the seekers. Like, that's annoying. So, I did watch their game last night though. It was interesting because that game, That game to me was kind of a couple of different games, right? Because the first period, one of the better periods Chicago has played the entire season. I mean, they came out and absolutely dominated the first 20 minutes of that hockey game. I think Colorado had 2 shots in the first period, something low. It was like 12-2 in shots after one. The problem, Johnny, was I think 4 minutes into the third period, Chicago had only gotten to 13 shots at that point. And then they had a huge push in the third period. So give them credit.
Shots in the second were 19-1. Oh my God.
So and then in the third, I'd say the last 15 minutes of the game, Chicago had a pretty good push. And they started playing a little bit in the offensive zone. But when Colorado wants to turn it up, they're just the scariest team in the National Hockey League. And when they're getting back-to-back shutouts, they got one from Blackwood and then they got one from Wedgewood. That's a problem. That's a real problem for the National Hockey League, because that team is scary talented. I mean, Cale Makar, the goal that he scored.
So difficult. Like, that's not an easy rebound to put home the way he did it.
Go ahead, explain why, John.
No, I'm just saying he put in a rebound from like the tops of the circles. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even shoot that puck; they'd want to settle it first. But Cale touches a rebound that came out so far. As a defenseman, I thought that was incredibly impressive. You don't see guys normally shoot a puck like that. Like, if that was, I'm just also being biased. If that's the Rangers, 10 times out of 10 are Temi Panarin settling that puck down before he even shoots, or he's looking to pass.
Well, and what makes it more impressive, and this is what I was kind of hoping you would go into, is because, when you're playing on the left side and you're, as a righty, that puck's coming out to your left leg. You know what I mean? If you're a lefty there, it's easy to just kind of lean into that, right? It's almost like a redirection. But for Makar there as a righty, he's got to get his hands out in front and across his body, and you're leaning into it basically against your own momentum. And so for him to do that, be able to put that type of velocity on it, and the fact that he's even in that spot, right? I mean, he is just always on his toes the way that he plays, Johnny. And he can play the game moving forward so well because his skating is so good to recover. And it's impressive to watch. Like,
no thoughts on the turnover though?
What'd you say?
No thoughts on the turnover that led to it?
On that goal?
Yeah.
Who had the turnover?
Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight shot the puck right up the middle.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't remember that part of the clip. I was actually, the other two guys I really wanted to talk about were Levshunov and Rinzel in that game, just because I thought, there's some interesting dynamics at play right now. And Puck Battle threw it in the chat, actually, talking about ice time between those two players. I'll say this to you, Johnny. The last 2 minutes of the game last night, Levshunov was on the ice. He was on for about a minute, and then there was a whistle and a timeout, and they kept him out on the ice with the empty net. And so, I think everybody anointed Sam Rinzel as like power play number one, offensive threat number one. But I'll tell you, the former number 2 overall pick in the National Hockey League, Artem Levshunov, like, his game has come around. And, I know, again, you have such a simple brain for the game, so you think goals are the only thing that matters. But
no, but everyone's everyone's praising Levshunov now as this offensive defenseman. And I know maybe I was wrong for calling him a defensive defenseman, but like, I have this one guy on Twitter who I actually kind of love. I think his account, he listens to our show. His account's like Salt Lake something Blackhawks, but he like tweets at me or tags me every time Levshunov has an assist. And like, the last game, Levshunov had one of those assists. It was like a drop pass in the power play breakout that Levshunov gets a secondary assist for. Everyone's talking about how many assists he's put up this year. I think he only has 4 primary assists. Like, the other ones are all secondary. I just haven't been like so impressed with Levshunov offensively that he's becoming
you don't
this.
Watch the games.
I've watched at least 4 Blackhawks games this year. 4.
Johnny, defensemen in the National Hockey League that control the game by having the puck on their stick and putting other guys in good situations with the puck.
I don't see that consistently with him, though.
To me, those are offensive defensemen as much as the guys who might score 15 goals a year. When you're constantly finding the score sheet, first assist or second assist, that means the puck is leaving your stick. You are putting other guys in situations to make plays offensively. Okay.
I don't see that
I don't give a
consistently with
shit
him, though.
if Levshunov doesn't score a single fucking goal this entire season. For you to watch this guy play and not think that he is one of these puck-moving offensive defensemen, it just tells me you're on TikTok way too much, and you need to fix yourself.
You're also like making
twisting
it seem
your
like
words.
I don't think
do I do that ever?
Yeah, you are, but
I don't do that.
I don't see the hype yet. Is what I'm saying. I think the hype is too. I when I watch Blackhawks games, and again, I've only watched like 4 or 5 this year. 55 isn't popping off on the screen to me every time he has the puck. Like I just don't think it's the same as some of the other offensive defensemen that we talk about, like the real offensive defenseman in the NHL. Like I don't think he's put in that category yet. I think it's a little too early.
Remember something. We're talking about a guy in his rookie season, right? How many games?
Yeah, I'm aware. I think we're doing it too early.
But again, for you to watch him play, you watch the situations they're putting him in. He's out on the 6-on-5. He's out on the 5-on-3.
Yeah.
He's now out on the 5-on-4 as the guy up top, right? This is a guy.
He's playing good hockey. I just don't think he's
how to play offense. He knows how to be that quarterback type of guy. That's what he did at Michigan State, right?
Yeah.
That's how he was at Michigan State. He's the guy that puts his teammates in fortuitous positions on the ice because of his puck moving ability, because of his vision, because of his IQ, and because of his skill set. Okay? Like, I don't care so much about goals.
And I love that Vic was like, Colby, who was on the ice trying to tie the game late? Remind me. Well, did they score?
I mean, he's also giving me some good stats like Thomas Caberlet, who played, 1,000 games in the NHL. He hit double digits in goals 3 times in his career, right? He was an offensive defenseman because all he did was move the puck and put other guys in great situations, right? This isn't the National Hockey League, but we have a guy on our team. I talked about him on Game Notes, right? He's got 29 points this season in 22 games, 2 goals. That's it. He is the best offensive defenseman in the entire league, and he only has 2 goals because every time he has the puck on his stick, we almost score a goal. Somebody else almost scores a goal. It's either 1 or 2 plays away, and there's something to be said for that, right? And you learn that by truly studying a guy and watching, every shift, not just highlight real plays, right? And that's where I'm going with this Levshunov thing. And I'm not
looking for highlight reel plays.
I want to have Barstool Chief on the show this week because he's watching these guys so carefully. And I want to hear from him what he thinks, right? Because him and I have gone back and forth about the defensive core for years because we both know championship teams are built through the back end, right? So I want to get him on this week. I'm going to shoot him a message now and see what he wants to do this week. I know you had someone in mind for tomorrow. Maybe we'll see if we can't get him to come on Wednesday.
Yeah, and okay, I'm seeing all the Lafreniere comments. I said Laf was unreal the year, like right as he was about to pop off 2 years ago. Like I saw it developing with Lafreniere. I have not said Lafreniere is unreal in the last 12, 15 months. Whatever. We got Mason West here. I want to get to him while we're talking Blackhawks. The Blackhawks first round pick from this past year. Just won the state title for Edina High School in football in Minnesota. But before we bring Mason on, just want to give a quick word from our sponsor, Out West. Folks, Black Friday is here. Our new core hoodie colors are officially restocked for the season. The everyday vest is flying off the shelf, and new quarter zips aren't moving too slow themselves. For a limited time, when you buy an item at full price, you'll get a second for just $10. No codes to remember, no extra steps. The discount will auto-apply at checkout. It's the perfect time to get started on that holiday shopping list. You know the deal. Head on over to www.outwest.us and grab your second item at $10 while this sale lasts. Out West, every game needs an outlaw. And speaking of Out West, let's bring on friend of the show, Mason West. Mason,
how we doing?
State champion. I got to imagine your phone has not stopped buzzing for the last 2 nights. Just how has everything been for you? I mean, the attention you're getting from all over the sports world must be pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy the past couple days and since we won, but it's kind of just cool to see the Edina community and how much they kind of reached out, and obviously we had a ton of Edina people at the game, so I think that was the coolest thing. Obviously there's the social media, but it's kind of like it's cool that the Edina community kind of all tied in and reached out. So that was cool.
Cool. Oh, are you you know what? I'll follow up. Are you doing a parade?
I don't think we are. No, that'd be
No?
cool though. That'd be fun.
I feel like that would happen in Minnesota of all places. I mean, you guys are pretty nuts sports fans there, and for high school sports especially. I wouldn't put a parade past Edina High School.
I know. And that's our first time ever kind of like winning it too. So that'd be fun.
Hey Mason, we've never met before, so it is good to meet you, man. And I think we're all really excited to see your career in hockey, kind of get going as you move over to the USHL here shortly, and then we're gonna see you make your way to Michigan State. And I'm so curious because Minnesota is such a brotherhood when it comes to sports. How does a guy from the great state of Minnesota, as highly touted as you, it's not as if you don't have options. I get it for players who don't have options, but how does a guy like you decide to cross over that state border and end up playing hockey at Michigan State when you've got, usually the Gophs they get the big dogs coming out of Minnesota, right? And obviously Scott Sandelin and his group have something to say about that quite often, but I'm curious how that whole situation panned out. And I know we've got a diehard Minnesota Golden Gopher fan in our chat right now, and I'm sure he's wondering the same thing.
Yeah, I think going into my junior year, that's when they kind of started like rolling in a little bit more with like opportunities, and I actually never really talked to the Gophers, so that was kind of like the
Really?
big thing.
Wow.
They never reached out, so I guess
No way.
Michigan State they were one of the first teams to offer me, and so I went on a visit, and then it was kind of just a feeling for me, and you kind of know once you're on the campus and once you visit other campuses which ones you like better. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing for me is once I visited and met the coaching staff and the development staff, I just felt like it was the best place for me.
Yeah.
Did you
Wow.
grow up in a
That is
football
an
household?
interesting.
I did a little bit of a basketball household actually. I was my dad played D1 basketball at Eastern Illinois, so not a lot of hockey, but me and my brother tried to bring that into the household.
He
Has
was
anybody
roommates
made
with
the?
Peyton, right?
Jeez,
Yeah.
Johnny, go on ahead, pal.
Sorry.
Has anybody made the
Yeah.
Deion Sanders comparisons for you yet? The two sport athlete comparison, or not really?
A little bit. I've seen like a couple like things on it, but yeah, a little bit.
So should we expect to see like a couple years in Chicago, and then all of a sudden you're going to be signing with the Chicago Bears at some point too, and kind of going back and forth, or and this was an important question that I wanted to ask you, and Kyle Davidson is also a friend of the show. He could be watching right now, so be careful how you answer this question. But now that you've got your state championship, right? Have you played your last down of competitive football? Is that something that we can clip and put out to the internet and we can say he said it here first?
Yes, I think I have played my last down of football, but if anyone ever needs like a scout player, I'd be interested in like
Oh,
maybe like doing some scout, but no more football.
we had Adam Nightingale on our show, and Johnny and I both know Jared DeMichael really, really well
Yeah.
at Michigan State. So I guess we'll have to see. Maybe spring practice in East Lansing. I don't know. Like, the cameras are rolling. We'll be keeping our eye for it.
Yeah.
Well, that was something I wanted to get more into though, Mason, because I think a lot of people are also curious. Like, you're a first round NHL draft pick, but some people who maybe aren't, including me, who aren't familiar with how like the football ranks work, I've gotten so many tweets. Can you ask him if he thinks he's better at football or hockey? And I'm like, that's such a dumb question. He's a first round pick in the NHL. Like, no offense to your football career, obviously, but would you say it's like clear cut that hockey is your best sport?
Yeah, I believe that too. I think when I'm on the football field, obviously there's a lot of competitiveness and I feel good on the football field, but I think hockey's just my sport, just like the feeling. I think when I'm on the hockey ice, it just feels natural, and I think that's overall my better sport. But I mean, I love both sports, but I think hockey's the one.
Let me ask you this. After you win that state championship, like we saw Greg Olson tweet at you, who, I mean, I personally think is the best analyst on Fox. I just love that guy's work as an analyst. I've never met him before, but any celebrities, NFL guys like reach out to you or tweet at you that you were like, holy shit, this is kind of sick?
Yeah, there was like some ESPN and Sports Center guys that reached out. Anders Lee reached out, and
That's
the
cool.
captain of the Blackhawks did, which is super cool. You kind of look at
Yeah.
it and you're like, is this real for a little bit? But then, yeah, it's cool.
You don't think it's cool that we reached out?
No, it was cool. I was excited about that. I was
No,
excited.
I'm
I was
just fucking with
excited.
you. But no, Mason, I think another big important thing too, and a lot of those reactions that you've gotten is like the important lesson of not forcing kids to just play one sport and feel burnout from one sport. And I think, that's something that's probably so inspiring about your story is that any parent now who wants their kid to be a big time athlete or get a Division I scholarship in one sport can almost look at you and say, look how well-rounded Mason West is. It's all going to work out for him because he's put his time in with football. He's put his time in with basketball and with hockey. And I think that to me personally is what resonates the most. Like, obviously I was nowhere near as good as you in any of those sports, but I grew up playing everything till like 9th, 10th grade. Then I felt like I had to focus on one thing, but that's probably not the case. For you, how much has like playing football, being a quarterback, obviously one of the most difficult position in sports, helped you with hockey? Like having the perspective of being in control of the game and having the pressure on you and being the guy.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of things that like happen on the hockey ice, and obviously football and hockey kind of hockey happens a little bit faster. Football is a little bit slower, just with stops in between plays. But I think it just helps you like deal with adversity and kind of be ready for all that. I think like kind of forcing yourself to one sport, you kind of just deal with hockey adversity. But playing football, I think as a quarterback too, there's a lot that goes wrong. So it kind of helps you bounce back and kind of be a goldfish a little bit on the ice and kind of help you mentally prepare. There's a lot of physical things that translate in between both sports. But I think the biggest thing is just the mentality and the mental part of the game that is hard. And I think playing both sports, you get to deal with a lot of adversity. And once you go through some of that in hockey and football, and then it kind of helps you when you pick one sport, you're kind of ready for it and stuff like that. So I think there's all those physical tools, but I think it's the one big thing is the mental game that really helps you.
And it's funny because I think we use that term all the time. I use it as a coach. I've had coaches use it for me. As a defenseman, you make a bad play, you're on a power play, you get picked off, the other team goes down, scores a shorthanded goal, whatever. And everybody always says you got to have a quarterback mentality, right? You got to put it in the rear view and have that QB mentality. So I guess, the phrase does truly fit when it comes to you. That is certainly something you can, that you can draw on within your sports career. I want to go back a little bit, Mason, to the NHL draft and the combine. And I'm curious, what types of questions were you faced with about this whole situation? Because, you're investing a first round pick in a guy or even a second round pick in a guy, and you're looking at that guy and you're going, this guy can play, this guy can help us. And I think a lot of people question the Blackhawks when they picked Sam Rinzel a couple of years ago, late in the first round, and felt like that was a reach. And look how well that's paid off for the Chicago Blackhawks so far, right? I've said this all along. I have a lot of faith and trust in what, Mike Donaghy and Kyle Davidson are doing with their draft classes these days, and the proof is on the ice right now. But when you were sitting in some of those meetings, and you probably had quite a few of them because of your interesting background, what types of things were being thrown your way about this whole multi-sport athlete situation?
Yeah, I think there was just the injury part of the game. Obviously, like being a quarterback, you tend to maybe get hit a lot, whether it's the big guys or you're running out of the pocket. But I think the main question they ask is just like why you want to do it. And I think maybe you've seen that or not, but I think it's just, as I said before, just trying to be loyal and to my teammates and just try to have fun too. Like I love playing both sports. I think just having fun is like really important. Just if you're playing one sport or two sports, I think I just want to keep having fun and having the chance to play one more football season was super special. It was funny. There's a story when I forget what team it was, but I was in the meeting and they go, "Are you still playing pickleball?" And I was like, "No, I'm not playing pickleball," but
Yeah.
that was funny. But yeah, I think just like the injury part of the game and stuff like that, and maybe not being on the ice much, but I kind of like being off the ice a little bit to stay fresh and keep things fresh. So yeah, that was kind of the two biggest things.
Well, the pickleball thing is actually interesting. Were you like rubbed the wrong way that they didn't know your background fully? Like if they're thinking about drafting you, shouldn't they know what sport you're playing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just thought it was a ball and it involved something like that. So I was trying not to laugh a little bit. I was like,
Yeah.
that's not
And
pitbull.
you're not gonna tell us what team that was,
No,
right?
no, no. We wouldn't even
No,
ask. You can't do that. Yeah, come
Oh,
on.
what do you
no.
mean
Come
we
on.
wouldn't even ask? We have to ask. He doesn't have to answer, but
We
we
don't want
have
to
to
get
ask.
him in trouble. Come on.
He's not going to
But
get in trouble. I think that's hysterical. I think that probably go
it was
viral. You
probably
probably
the
see that
Rangers.
on.
But Mason, let me ask you this, and please be as honest as you can, because again, so unique. You called your shot. You got to go back and play. You said you wanted to win the state title. You did. Can you take like a huge deep breath now, knowing that everyone was, I don't want to say skeptical, but like talking about this decision and how you've made this decision now so worth it because you delivered, like, and you can kind of shut all those people up. How relieving is that?
It's relieving because you don't really have to tell anyone stuff or anything like that. You just got to go out there and win. I think that's like the biggest thing is you just got to go out there and do it. I think a lot of people say like talk is cheap, so I think just like doing it kind of means more. You don't really have to say anything to those people that are skeptical. You just have to do it and then just keep moving forward. So I think that's like the biggest thing is you just got to do it and just try to achieve your goals and dreams.
Mason, we've got a good question from our chat. Nicole Vital 21 is asking if there is an NHLer that you model your game after.
Yeah, I would say just Tage Thompson. I think there's a lot of guys in the NHL that are really skilled and stuff, but I think just with my size and how kind of I'm a little bit more mobile and stuff like that for I think for a big guy. So I think Tage Thompson is definitely kind of a guy I try to compare myself to, but obviously he's amazing and stuff
Mhm.
What
like that.
about
So like,
his
I'm just trying to.
game? Like, what about his game, Mason? Like, give us more. Like, what are the facets of his game that like you really do like want to lean into?
Yeah, I think there's that mobility part I said before. I think being a tall guy, you have to really be good on your edges and be really flexible. But I think just his goal scoring ability, I think he has a really good shot and is able to get those hard shots off of this, whether it's one timer or like a good snapshot. But I think we kind of compare with those types of things. But yeah, and I think also like scanning too, scanning the ice. I think we both do pretty well. But obviously he's a superstar.
Mhm. What is the plan now? I know you're getting set to join the Fargo Force in the USHL, and then are you going into Michigan State next year? Is that the plan?
Yeah, that would kind of be the plan. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, because this is kind of unusual, right? Like, you don't normally see a player get drafted in the NHL and still be in high school. I know you have like a summer birthday, so I guess you were like one grade back of your draft
Mhm.
age, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
what has been like walking the hallways like after being a first round pick in the NHL? Like, that's also not normal.
In Minnesota, where people
Yeah, like,
understand what that is
yeah,
too, by the
that's
way.
so
Like,
sick.
you could be a first round pick at Radnor High School where I'm from, and people be like, so what? We don't give a shit. Like, what sport? You know what I mean? Like, you're in
Yeah.
one of the meccas.
Yeah, I mean, obviously being in the state of hockey, I mean, a lot of people know like about hockey and about Blackhawks. So,
Mhm.
I guess it's like cool, like walking and like seeing like ninth graders like say hi and ask for like a picture. But I mean, I don't
No
really know.
way.
I don't really pay attention to all of it. I mean, it's cool,
Yeah.
like I said before, having the Edina community. But yeah, I just try to like enjoy it and stuff like that.
Are these
Are you
kids
wearing
like
the
asking
Blackhawk
you for
stuff to school?
selfies or what? Are they like coming up to you being like, hey, can we get a selfie together?
A little bit, yeah. There's a couple. There's always like that same group that kind of does it. So kind of try to
Yeah.
hide away from them a little bit.
You
It would have
probably
been
have
me. If I was in ninth grade,
for
dude, and there's an
sure.
NHL first round pick in my high school, I would have stalked that kid.
There's probably no
Yeah.
girls coming up to you either. They're probably not interested, right?
Yeah, not at all. Mm-mm.
Oh man. Well, listen,
Yeah.
we Johnny, I don't know if you have any other questions for him, but I got to tell you, man, it's not often we bring a guy on here that's like a college age player or a junior age player, and they've got, they're so well spoken about things. So I always give Johnny a hard time when he's like, let's bring this guy on and let's bring that guy on, and I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. So it's been great having an opportunity to talk to you today. I'm sure Johnny has one more. He always does. He loves to ask something stupid on the way out. So brace
Usually.
yourself for it. But listen, we look forward to seeing you play in Fargo.
Thank
I
you.
know Brett Skinner. It was a former teammate of mine, and Joey Mullen is a good buddy as well from the area that I live. And then we'll see you next year in the Frozen Four when Michigan State's in their second, their back-to-back Frozen Four runs that I think they're about to go on here. So Thanks for your time today, and I'll kick it over to Johnny and let him finish up here.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask, which, first of all, Mason, thanks again for taking the time this morning. I know you're going to be a very popular guy this week, and I feel very fortunate that I got to spend some time with you on your NHL draft day. But my last question for you, and again, this might be somewhat complicated because I'm sure for you being the multi-sport athlete, it's a lot of different people, but which athlete growing up did you draw the most inspiration from? Since you played so many different sports, who was the guy for you?
Yeah, I would say there was a guy named Drew Brees. He was a quarterback for the Saints.
Yes, we
Honestly,
all know
it's a little bit biased with the Sean Payton, but I mean, just watching him and just kind of seeing how well spoken he is, it kind of just made me want to kind of be like that one day and stuff like that. So I think when I was watching him, he's number 9 too. So that's a little bit why I chose number 9. But I think it was just cool to see how well spoken he is and just how good of a guy he is. I think that's the most important thing.
And you mentioned Sean Payton, but for those who don't know, your dad was roommates with Sean Payton in college, right?
He was. Yeah, he was. I'm not a Broncos fan, though. I can't be a Broncos fan. I think just maybe a Saints fan.
Assuming
you're super cool.
Assuming that you are also a Minnesota Viking fan, is that an all right assumption or no?
No, right now I like the Bears a lot. Right now, I'll try to pick between what team is doing
training.
better.
Listen to this guy. He's already a Chicago Bears fan. Wow. That is some serious media training right there, Mason. Listen, buddy, enjoy your days as a high schooler. Again, we look forward to watching you progress, and we'll see you in the NHL here at some point. And just remember, as soon as you do sign that NHL contract, my advice to you, go to Johnny's name in your phone and make sure you hit that block button, because otherwise he's going to be blowing you up left and right for really insignificant, stupid things. So thanks for your time today, pal. Good luck moving forward. It's been fun chatting with you.
Thanks, Mason.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Be good. Awesome stuff. What a kid, man. Again, I got to spend a lot of time with him on his draft day. We did a USHL feature where he actually was throwing footballs to me in the streets of LA. And you can tell right away, he's such a humble kid, man. Colby, if that was me, if I was just the high school quarterback who won a state championship and a first-round pick in the NHL, I would be the cockiest person on the planet. He could not be more humble for how good of an athlete he is.
Some swagger, though. I think
got
some swagger. I like his swagger.
Yeah. And Dylan, I dropped almost every ball. I think I caught one. Mason has a fucking cannon, dude. Every single ball he was throwing was going right into my chest. And I thought I was going to be black and blue after it. What?
Are you athletic outside of hockey?
I was a starting point guard in travel basketball till 9th grade. I was a really good basketball player. I loved Stephon Marbury. Growing up as a Knicks fan, I'm a big Knicks fan. Knicks, Rangers are my two teams. But I was a point guard in basketball. I was a decent 3-point shooter. Could dish, could drive the lane, kick it out. I was a lefty too, so I had an interesting. I guess it was tougher to guard lefties maybe when we were younger for some reason, but. I was a pretty decent basketball player, but outside of that, I sucked at lacrosse, was whatever at soccer, baseball. My dad made me quit because he didn't want to watch because it was too boring. And that's really it. You?
I played other sports up until my sophomore year in high school.
Were you a lacrosse guy?
I played baseball and I picked up lacrosse later. Because all my friends were playing lacrosse. I was actually a better baseball player than I was a hockey player, up to 9th grade. I was better at baseball than I was at hockey. I was probably not quite there with tennis. I wasn't quite on that level that I was at with hockey and baseball with tennis, but I played that pretty consistently. And then I picked up lacrosse in middle school, Johnny, and I loved it. I fell in love with it right away.
I hated it so much.
The people in my town in Radnor that ran lacrosse, the one I still remember, the guy's name was Jack Brennan, and he was a 2-sport athlete at Dartmouth, hockey and lacrosse.
Wow.
And so
pretty impressive.
When I came into the program, he was very excited because I was a hockey player. And while I wasn't as good as the other kids, they put me on the top team with all the other kids, kind of thinking we could probably teach this guy pretty quickly. And I was okay. I did learn all the fundamentals of lacrosse. I could play righty. I could play lefty. But I never quite caught up. I mean, some of my friends were really good lacrosse players. One of them was a Division I player at Ohio State. We had a Radnor Township. We had kids go to Georgetown. We had these 2 kids go to Maryland. So like lacrosse was a big deal where I mean, they're state champions in soccer and lacrosse pretty frequently at a Radnor high school. So, but I played all sports. And like I said, until like 10th grade. And then in 10th grade, it was really only hockey competitively, but I still played tennis all the time in the summer. I still love throwing a football around. I wasn't just, only having a hockey stick in my hands really ever. My whole life, I never really was just into hockey.
Well, I was going to say the 2 of us too. And I saw Puck Battle made a comment like he sees all the tennis tweets from me. Tennis was something I picked up later in life. Like I didn't play tennis growing up. And I know you love tennis too, but
I grew
over the
up
last
with
you played growing up. You did.
I grew up with it. My dad had me on the court. My dad and I were on the court at like 5 a.m.
Really? Wow. You were like hardcore tennis?
Even when it got cold out, it was sweatpants and a sweatshirt on the court. And my dad felt like the footwork, the hand-eye coordination, the conditioning, he felt all that stuff was helping me with other sports. So, we'd get up, I'd be miserable. He'd wake me up 5:15. It was still dark out a lot of mornings. The lights would be up on the tennis court and we'd be right outside and we'd be hitting balls for like an hour. We weren't playing a set because that wasn't getting the point across. It was just working my forehand, working my backhand, getting across the court, learning the sport, learning how to get ahead of shots. And so that was like a big part of my kind of off-ice training through like my childhood. Was playing tennis before school.
Lots of Europeans train that way too. Yeah, like all the Swedish guys and Finnish guys play tennis in the summers to like I think I've heard Barkov is like a really good
Dennis
tennis
Seidenberg could have probably been a professional tennis player. That's how good he was.
And just to address MYR Marine, I know he's fucking with me, but I picked up tennis in 2022 because my last job actually before I started working in hockey full time, I was doing ad sales at the Tennis Channel. So when I started to break into the hockey world, my 9 to 5 was in the office at Sinclair doing ad sales for tennis. Like I was talking to BNP Paribas was like a client. Like that's like one of the sponsors in all the tennis tournaments. I think that's how you say it. But I picked it up in that 2022 US Open, the Sinner versus Alcaraz match that went to like 2 a.m. That's when I watched and I was like, wow, like these guys are fucking sick. Like this sport's unreal.
By the way,
but let's get back into hockey. What?
Did you see AJ Greer reposted that guy calling him the biggest piece of shit in hockey? Did you guys see that? I love that. Like what? See, I just
but that's him like searching his own name. That's him searching his own name.
Hold on a second. These people that do that kind of stuff, they don't do it one time. So we don't know specifically that he searched his own name, right? Because I'll tell you this, even to this day,
after the game.
Even to this day, I have gotten to the point where I am so disciplined about not looking at my own name on social media. I used to do it. No, I have no problem admitting, especially as a broadcaster, I used to do it. Now, never. I don't even open it, okay, to look at social media. But you know who does? My wife still does. She loves reading the mean tweets about me. It's like her favorite thing to do when I'm broadcasting a game. And she probably sends them in the family group chat sometimes. Yeah. We have our family group chat with like our neighbors that we're really, really close with. They're probably all looking at it and laughing about it as well. So someone could have sent him that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do it. And here's the thing. If you're going to throw stones and talk shit, why can't you go back at someone for that? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's awesome that AJ Greer did that. I don't think
there's anything wrong with him like doing it. I think there's wrong with like searching your own name and doing it. Like if that's
we don't know that that's necessarily what he did. We don't know how many times this guy has tagged him in tweets.
Well, he wasn't tagged. He wasn't tagged.
And I said in the past he could have been tagged. And here's the other thing: when you go on social media now, Johnny, you get taken to the For You page, not your timeline page.
Oh, you think he might have just saw it?
See shit I see more stuff on Twitter from people that I don't follow.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, though, I agree with your point though. Like if I mean, I think the best thing is Big Cat from Barstool said it like years ago that one athlete or an athlete should be able to fight one fan a year. Like I think it's like the best idea. So many fans just
Listen,
talk shit from the distance, and athletes should
people
be able to
are
clap back.
like, where has like our decency gone
At
in the
least that
world?
guy
Like,
had
you're
his
gonna
name.
go on Twitter and you're gonna say AJ Greer is one of the biggest pieces of shit in hockey. Like, you know what? If you're gonna say something like
It's
that,
also an Oilers fan. What do you expect?
why not? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oilers fans aren't bad. I like Oilers.
No. I mean,
fans.
the Oilers were playing the Panthers that night. It's not like it was a random night, a
It's
random
just,
Tuesday
I don't
night
know.
that
Like
had nothing to do with the
you're
Oilers.
calling someone the biggest piece of shit in hockey. Like, honestly, like, good for him. I mean, the last time I did something like this was during the NCAA tournament a couple of years from some
I remember
obnoxious
this.
DC fan. And he like tried so hard to get me fired at ESPN. It was so funny and pathetic. People were just constantly sending it to me. My friends do it too. My friends love. I'm pretty sure during the Frozen Four, they drink, watch the Frozen Four, and search for the meanest, nastiest thing you could possibly find about me on social media. So, you know, again, this is the world we live in, Johnny.
People go on Twitter to talk shit. Like all I see is negative stuff all day long. Even like Ranger fans, I was going after that. Like people are just fucking annoying now. Like it's just people log onto the app just to talk shit. Like
get thick
what?
skin. Have thick skin. You know, it just.
What do you mean?
You know, it's for
like
anybody.
Us?
Just
Or
in
anyone?
general, you got to have thick skin. If you're going to have a front-facing job, have thick skin. That guy who tweeted that about Greer, I'm sure his job in life is not a public front-facing job, right? And so, hey, listen, this is what we.
Hey,
all
I
sign
respect
up for.
that I respect that he uses his real name and tweeted it. Like there are people who hide behind these fake ass names that do that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I respect that this guy's saying that stuff and actually like putting his face and his name out there.
Yeah.
Not many people do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's usually the people that are hiding behind alias. No doubt about it. So, all right, there's two other things Vic is dying for us to talk about. The Svechnikov report from Fridge and Mitch Marner. So, Johnny, why don't you lead us into it a little bit here, and we'll knock Bauer out of the way, and then I think we should focus more on the Mitch Marner part because I think that's what Vic really wants us to talk about.
Yeah. I'm also dying that like I just said that too. And we have like so many people in our chat who have like the fake names and stuff, but we love you guys and we know you. So it's different when you talk shit. So this segment will be a presentation of Bauer and the Bauer Pulse, the first Bauer stick to feature their latest kick point innovation. Powered by two distinct energy zones in the shaft, this stick is designed to adapt to your game with loadability and precision of a mid kick and the explosive, unexpected release of a low kick. Catch goaltenders by surprise with a quick shot, and they'll never see it coming, or make dynamic plays in the zone that will have defenders scrambling. Combine all that with new raised grip ink on the shaft, and Pulse will stay in your hands while you put the game in your hands. Exclusive to Bauer Hockey, the Pulse contains ultra lightweight and rigid bore and fiber material, which creates a high strength to weight ratio and optimizes energy storage and increases reactivity, featured on 40 flex sticks and above. For more information, check out Bauer.com. So, Colby, you want to start with Svechnikov?
Are you moving Svechnikov? If you're the Carolina Hurricanes, do you have any interest in moving Svechnikov?
The report was that things quieted down. No, like, isn't that what it said? Like he was unhappy with his playing time at first, and then now things are quieted down because he's playing well. He's playing better now.
These things usually ebb and flow.
They come back up.
I'm asking you a pointed question here. Yeah. Are you willing to trade Svechnikov? And I'll tell you, the answer for me is yes. Because
yeah, I think so too.
You're eventually going to have to make some sort of big shakeup to get you over the hump, right? And right now they can't get over it. Maybe this will be the year, but to me, I think that's a guy that if you can get the right return for it, he is far from untouchable for me, Johnny.
And we also talk about, all these high draft picks. He's a second overall pick. And he's had...
I kind of forgot that, honestly.
Yeah,
that
he's a second overall pick. And he's had one really good... he's had good years, but he's had one really good year where he scored 30 goals. Other than that, he's been 50-point... if you want to call Lafreniere, whatever you want to call Lafreniere, Svechnikov better be in that... He better be in that same category. He's a second overall pick.
Put those two guys in the same category.
He better be in the same category. He's a second overall pick. He's played 500 NHL games. He's got 158 goals. He's got 218 points, 376 points in 500 NHL games. You better put him in the same category.
He's also
How could you not?
40. He's also a plus 40. He also does
who's
more than things for his team.
Who's had better playoffs?
Plays against other teams' top players. They're like, I'm sorry, Johnny, you cannot put those two players in the same category. That is fucking asinine.
I don't think that's asinine at all.
I get it.
I think if anything, that's a 1-for-1 trade right there.
You're looking for more consistency for him, but 20 goals, 24 goals. Okay, the next year he only has 15 in a shortened season, 30 goals, another 20-plus goal season in 64 games, another 20-goal season, and then a 20-goal season. Like, you're getting 20 goals every season from this guy since he joined the NHL. Every single season, okay? You're getting a guy that plays in every situation, okay? You're getting a guy that can shut you down defensively. You're getting a guy that forechecks like his hair is on fire at times, who plays physical. Come on. You can't compare these two players. That is a reach for me.
I think the recency bias of Lafreniere is certainly when Lafreniere is on his game.
About goals and assists, and that's where
I'm aware.
You cannot compare these two players.
He was pretty bad to start the year. He was.
Okay. He had a bad start to a season. No problem.
I think they're more similar than they are different.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. Like, I can't sign on that. And I disagree with you completely, Joe. Albanese, I don't agree with you. I can't put these two players in the same category. I just can't. I don't. Lafreniere is just too invisible for me too often. And
I think if you said a 1-for-1 trade for those two players, I don't think anyone would be like, that's ridiculous.
I am saying that's fucking ridiculous.
I don't think
a
most people would
1-for-1 trade. Lafreniere for Svechnikov? Are you high?
Yeah.
I
don't think so.
High right now?
I really don't.
Are you doing this just to sound like a moron? Come on.
No.
Oh
I think there are people out there who would say just swap those two guys. Just swap those two guys who need
the dumbest thing you've ever said. This has to be even dumber than the fact that Lafreniere will score 100 points. You like, this is one of the dumbest things you've ever said in a sea of dumb things.
I have also been on record, by the way. I said last year that Svechnikov was going to be the X factor for Carolina. Like, I've praised Andrei Svechnikov too. Like, don't take this as me disrespecting Andrei Svechnikov. Like, I know there are people who listen to our show that would back me on that too, that know that I have said that. But again, I think there hasn't been the consistency of Svechnikov, just like there hasn't been the consistency of Lafreniere.
I cannot believe you sit there and think that 1-for-1 trade would be a reasonable trade, and people wouldn't think that's crazy.
I think when both guys are on their game, they're both great players.
When has Lafreniere been on his game other than for
2 years ago?
Of one season.
2 years ago when Lafreniere fucking beat the Carolina Hurricanes
every season in the National Hockey League.
2 years ago when Lafreniere beat the Hurricanes and was one of the best players in that series. That's when. And yeah, Svechnikov scores 20 goals every year on one of the best and most consistent regular season teams in the NHL. Are they not?
Vic,
who's the most consistent? Who's the most consistent regular season team in the NHL? Who?
Vic, do me a favor. Please get this ready for social media. This one has to get clipped.
Who is it?
I'm sorry. This has to get clipped. Like this. I mean, come on. This has to get clicked.
Everyone just attacks Lafreniere. Like that's the thing. That's the world we live in. They attack Lafreniere. Like, there are plenty of guys who aren't as consistent also. Lafreniere has sucked the last year and a half. Yes. 2 years ago, he was unbelievable. I've seen it with him. He was unreal. He was the Rangers' best forward in that playoff run and the second half of the season. He actually drove that line, I think. But, the last year and a half, I can't defend him at all. I can't. And I think Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes fans, for the most part, would say way too inconsistent. And we know when he's on his game, he has the ability to be the best player on the ice too, but you don't see it every night. I think it's the same thing for both players.
Okay.
You want to do Marner? Vic's begging us to do Marner. We can save Marner for tomorrow if you want.
I mean, listen, do Marner, whatever.
Let's save Marner because we only have one game tomorrow night. So Wednesday we'll have all these different topics to talk about. So we can save Marner for Wednesday. We are trying to get a guest tomorrow. a guest from the Buffalo Sabres, so we can leave it at that. But should we do Bet365 and log off?
Let's do Bet365 and log off. Banner day.
Okay.
Banner day.
So tonight's Bet365, bet of the night, whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. You must be 19 or older. We're going to go with the Detroit Red Wings on the money line. They're plus 120. The Red Wings are playing none other than the New Jersey Devils, who have now lost 3 straight games. They've been struggling for offense without Jack Hughes. That first period in Philadelphia, they led them, 3 goals in like a minute? Or no, 3 goals in like 30 seconds? Was that what it was? 3 goals in 37 seconds? 26? It was 26 seconds? How is that even possible?
The Flyers game, I'm speaking to the chat right now.
Yeah, the Flyers game. I don't know how it's even possible.
26.
Yeah, the Devils look a little lost right now, so we're going to pounce on the Detroit Red Wings on the money line, who are obviously looking to recover from they beat Columbus the other night, but they're still recovering from that 5-0 loss against the Islanders. So we're going Detroit plus 120 on the road money line. Colby, the floor is yours. Wrap it up. What's the chat saying? I got to catch up.
I just can't wait to see Vic clip this and get this.
Oh, he's going to kill me with it.
I just can't, I'm struggling with it all. But listen, you said we had a short week. I do want to call out the fact that Milan Lucic will be on the sheet today at 1:00 with Jeff Marek. And look, I will say this. I don't think any of us condone what happened with Milan Lucic when he was removed from the Boston Bruins. Him and his family have since sorted that out, and that's really none of any of our business. And I think it's always important to look at those situations and realize, like, we can all have our opinions, but when we're having an opinion about a family and that family is able to work it out, listen, I'm interested to hear what he has to say. And so good for Jeff for bringing him on. It's a Stanley Cup winner, a guy who's been in the NHL a long time. I think it's always important to hear from people that you disagree with. I'll never change my mind on that, ever. I think it's always important to have those conversations, have them publicly. So again, when I saw them promoting Lucic coming on there today, I thought I'll set a reminder on my phone, because I'm curious to hear what he has to say, and hear him talk to Jeff about what he has going on, how it's going in the American League, what he thinks will come of this. So check that out at 1:00 today on the sheet. Daily Faceoff Live will be at noon. Give us a like on this episode. Make sure you leave comments. I have a feeling we'll get a lot of comments on this, by the way.
Well, let me be clear too, because I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the chat, and Vic, I swear to God, if you clip me, but you don't make the clip theme that they're in the same category, then that's like all I said was they are in the same category, and then I went on to explain why. Like
Vic,
Svechnikov,
I want you to
and
clip
Lafreniere
him to make him look as bad as you possibly can.
You're all hearing this
to us,
and don't leave out the part when I say that Svechnikov has been on the best regular season team in the NHL, and that's got to help his numbers too.
I want you to leave all of that stuff out. I just want you to clip Johnny's 15 seconds of saying 1-for-1 Lafreniere for Svechnikov. Who would
he's going to do that too? I know
that's what I want. And if we need to alter his
that's
voice,
that's going to get me so mad
into it. Then we're going to do that. And honestly,
I'm not posting that or sharing that.
To make that video go absolutely viral. I think the Tri-State Hockey Podcast.
I'm not posting that or sharing that if that's the clip.
Look, here comes the backtrack. So,
again, if the clip is 1-for-1,
give us a comment on the stream. There'll be a lot of comments today. Get your automatic downloads going. Look, if you're somebody that's audio only, please go to your audio only platform and leave us a review. Give us the stars you think we deserve, and tell us how you feel about the show. We talked about having thick skin. I'm ready to have thick skin. All right. We know what the comments are going to say. We love it. And I'll have thick skin. I promise you that much.
I need my sound the sirens guys in the chat.
I loved having Mason West on the show today. I'll be honest with you. He was a great guest. Nice getting a chance to talk to him a little bit. I know Oliver made a brief appearance on the show today, which I know you all love. He's kind of sneaky, but he didn't want to come up on my lap. But he has been hanging with me during this whole show, as he always is, my best little buddy. And again, on your way out, hit that like button. We got a short week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Thursday is Thanksgiving here in the U.S., so we'll take Thursday, Friday, never shows on Friday. So we'll get a lot done in the next couple of days. So hang with us all week. We look forward to being here with you. Take care of the things we talk about. I have the YouTube on my other screen right now, and it's delayed, and I can just see my facial expressions when you started talking about this, and like, wow, the veins are literally popping out of my forehead. So we love you all, and we will see you all 9 a.m. tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Morning Cuppa Hockey here on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. And don't forget, we've got more great hockey content every day. You can catch DFO live at noon and stick around for the sheet with Jeff Marek at 1 p.m. right here on Daily Faceoff. Until then, keep your coffee hot and your takes hotter.